Hi, my name is Miranda and I'm Lanova's mom. I'm here to tell you about Lanova's story. When I was pregnant for Lanova at 6 months of pregnancy, I had an incompetent cervix, so they gave me a cerclage, meaning they stitched my cervix so that it would be closed enough for the baby to stay in. Unfortunately, this gave out and I gave birth at 24 weeks, so she was a micro preemie. Lanova was born at 12 inches and 1 pound and 9.5 ounces. She was a micro preemie and she stayed in the NICU that she was born at for the first 3.5 months of her life. After that, she was transferred to another NICU up in Albany that was about an hour and a half away, 2 hours, for another 3.5 months, where there she was transferred to another hospital before she was coming home to a rehab hospital in Westchester for another 4 months. Lanova did not come home for the first time since she was born until she was 10 months old. When Lanova was 3 months old, the doctors explained to both me and her father that she would need a tracheostomy, which is this little tube in her neck that allows her to breathe and rely on, and also her G-tube, which is a feeding tube put in her stomach. At this time, it was very stressful, understanding kind of what was going on with our child. Not only was she a micro preemie, but she was now fighting for her life, so it was kind of a big deal for us. Eventually, when she did come home from the hospital, we needed to go through multiple classes of training between CPR, how to take care of her trach, how to take care of her G-tube, and just the basis of knowing what to expect when bringing home a child with special needs. Once Lanova was home from the hospital, we had multiple therapies that came to our house. We had physical therapy, which helped her learn how to walk, how to crawl, how to kind of move around. Because she was premature, she had a lot of restrictions on moving her body and her muscle strength. We also had feeding therapy because she didn't take much by mouth as far as a bottle or baby food. So up until she was about 1 year old, we had a lot of restrictions. And once she turned about 2 years old is when she surpassed all of her issues. Now, Lanova's 3 years old, and we still have our tracheostomy and G-tube, but we're working towards having surgeries. So we're traveling back and forth from New York to Philadelphia to the Children's Hospital down there to have airway reconstruction surgery so the tracheostomy can eventually be removed. The reason she has her trach, again, is to help her breathe on her own. So therefore, if the trach were to ever fall out or for any reason her not to have it, she would have a difficult time breathing and staying alive. Also, because of the trach, she cannot talk. She doesn't have a voice, so Lanova has learned sign language. Since she was 1 year old, I have taught her sign language just as a form of communication. Throughout this whole process with Lanova growing up, it was really difficult because both I, as her mom, and her father were young. We were judged a lot because of this, and we did take on the responsibility of having a child, but we didn't know that she was going to have a couple, special needs and disabilities, which was fine. We accepted this, but going through the process of traveling both to New York and Philadelphia and other hospitals around New York, it was harder on us emotionally, stressfully, financially, just something we were not prepared for. Kind of going from just being me and him to taking care of a child was one thing, but to take care of a child with special needs was a whole nother alley that we were not looking to get into. It was stressful, but we handled it, I would say, very well for young parents. I continued to go to school full time. I continued to work. He continued to work. It was just something that we needed to get through as a family, which we were able to do. And now Lanova's thriving, and she does things like any other normal kid would do.
Okay, roll the ball on the floor. No, roll on the floor. Bowl. Good job. Yeah. Do it again. Yeah.
So now that it's summertime, she can't really go in the water. She can't go in the beach. She can't go in a pool. But we can get her bottom half wet. So we can put her in a floaty or in, they have these like medical things that she can sit in so that her upper body doesn't get wet. She likes to dance. She's in a dance class, so she does ballet and tap. She likes to draw. She likes to color, play with Play-Doh. She likes to paint. What else do you like to do, honey? She loves to do yoga. She's very good at yoga, surprisingly very good at yoga.
She likes ice cream, right?
She loves ice cream, chocolate ice cream. She calls it brown ice cream. And it has to be in a cone. She's very texture savvy, if that makes sense. Like, she loves different textures. When she was a baby, she did not like textures at all. But now that she's older, they stand out to her a lot. She loves to dress up like a princess and go and have tea parties and play with her friends. So the plan from now is to have another reconstruction of her airway surgery by the end of this summer to this upcoming fall, where when in that surgery her trach will be removed and she'll be able to speak almost automatically like she would have when she was originally born without all of these complications. So after Lanova has this surgery where the trach is removed and she is now able to breathe completely on her own without the trach, it is still an issue to have a G-tube because she has that for backup for medications, water, fluids, pretty much anything that a child wouldn't eat or drink, we have the ability to feed her without her really even knowing through her stomach. So that's always a good thing to have. That'll be the last step of this journey that we have, is taking it out. It's difficult as a parent to raise a child with special needs, but with special needs like Lanova, I think it's a little bit different because she is capable of doing a lot of things, but certain things that she loved to do, like she'd love to go swimming with her friends, she'd love to go swimming with her cousins, but she just can't do that like a normal kid would. So it's hard, you know, raising a child and always keeping them from what they want to do and allowing them to have their own sense of personality and certain things that you wish you could give them, you never can. And you have to be a little bit more strict and kind of direct when telling them something that they can't do, and it kind of seems like you're always saying no, 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 but it's just something that she needs right now at this point. And one day I know she will thank us, but as of right now, you know, we're the best parents that we can be given the situation. I feel it's important for Lanova to know who she is and why she is the way that she is. I'm not ashamed of how she is and the difficulties that she's faced, but she has overcome a lot in her life. So moving forward, I hope that Lanova takes everything that she's gone through and does something good with it in a positive way. She is 3 years old, but we have started to do little donations, and we've tried to make like a mini Lanova foundation. It's called A Voice for Lanova, where we raised money for kids just like Lanova going through surgery at the same hospital for them to have a teddy bear or a stuffed animal to go through their surgeries with. So I think it's important that Lanova does embrace who she is, because it's important for everyone to learn that.